Hi. Have you ever wondered how English just spawned in your head? Like, you obviously know school didn't help at all. You would most of the time listen to music or watch videos. And then suddenly the realization struck.
Oh my god, I think I know English. How did this happen and why can't I do the same thing with other languages?
What is even more odd is that although you know the language, you can easily speak it fluently and listen just as if you are listening to your mother tongue. When it comes to grammar, you are just as clueless.
It just happens.
You say,
This is what feels right.
then congratulations, you didn't learn the language, you acquired it, and that's a good thing. In fact, this is more efficient and long-lasting than any other method. But what is the difference? To learn a language, one must study it. From grammar to vocabulary, the learner should put active studying effort as if the language is a subject. All the rules, the secondary meanings, the proverbs, the exceptions, all should be studied and memorized. By the end of your learning the language journey, you will have profound information regarding the target language. Although this is by no means a bad thing, learning the language requires too much effort and provides little room for self-improvement. The reason why the language lessons you take at school suck most of the time is that schools head for the learning the language path instead of acquiring it. To acquire a language, one must intertwine with it. The acquiring process isn't done by studying the rules and memorizing vocabulary, but by being subjected to them so much that the learner, at some point, gets accustomed to the language. When language is constantly used for communicational reasons, especially on the internet, since there is a lot more written and informal speech unlike textbooks, people unconsciously become a part of the language's ecosystem. When you look at the comments section, you'll see people sharing their opinions, barely worrying about grammar. It is fine as long as it is understandable and sounds fine. As you watch videos of your favorite games or series, you get subjected to familiar words over and over, thus accidentally practicing their meaning and where people use them most of the time. When you see a phrase that piques your interest, and you search the meaning for the sake of it, the phrase becomes a part of you because it was the knowledge that you valued and wanted to learn. It wasn't forced or written in a textbook. You wanted it, and your brain will treasure it. This is why you'll see even non-English speaker gamers use so many English terms. It is a part of their jargon. They might not be able to pinpoint the exact translation, but they can feel what the words mean and where exactly they are supposed to be used. This is one of the ways acquiring happens. You don't study it like a class. You tinker with it like Lego bricks until you understand how everything works. And by the moment this process has been completed, all that is left is to enrich your knowledge by consuming more complex materials. Once again, you will find yourself reading fanfics about your favorite characters for the nth time. And the moment you see a word you are unfamiliar with, you'll be more than eager to check out what it means. You will also see a live example of where that exact word is used and how it is used. This is when you make the decision to either keep acquiring it passively or take a step forward and start learning it. This is the part where grammar and detailed knowledge come in. If we try to force the opposite upon students, they will fail. And worse, believe it was their fault. Language learning is a process that should be supported by teachers and wanted by students. My friend, as someone who got English spawned in your head, you didn't just learn it without putting any effort into it. You unconsciously or not practiced the best way to master a language. You learned it like how you learned your mother tongue. Thus English feels so familiar. You succeeded. What many others need well-aware teachers and correct counseling. You are your own tutor, and you should be proud of it. Moving on to the second question. Why can't I do the same spawning thing with other languages? Well, you can. Language is a social fact. It is not a subject you should study like math or chemistry and then assume you are good to go. Even in those fields, you have to put on active effort and try solving problems. Otherwise, you'll end up with what we call inert knowledge. Inert knowledge is when you know the rules and all, but can do little to nothing with it because you have no practice. Math rules make sense, but the problems make you question if you were in the class in the first place. Chemistry codes make sense, but the moment you are in a laboratory, you become an active threat to the entire country. You learned English, but while you can read and listen, you fail to write and speak. I think I should dive deeper into how social media helps so many people acquire new languages, or how memes are the new form of idioms. I don't know. I would like to see what everyone thinks. To the comments sections we go. Let me know if there is anything I forgot or misinterpreted. I am not a professional yet. I study English language teaching. Thanks for watching.